are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the feel. Jesus, you said I be a picking, no. Jesus, you said your love go cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I look around, now you are the feel. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, yeah. You know me, you know my name. Papa, you know my name, oh. Abba Father, hey. You know me, you know my name. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Yelele, yelele, yelele. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Papa, you know my name, oh. You know me, you know my name. Yelele, 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 yeah. Yelele, 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 yelele.
My Father, you know my name, and you know where I am coming from. Thank you very much, Reverend, and welcome back to ABC Amba TV on the part 3 of the Tale of Two Cities. I will be bringing to you the Tale of Two Cities immediately after this.
You know my name. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the pillow.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is a wonderful time with the people of Ambazonia, even at this war period, and even at this time that is looked upon as a difficult time. We know that we have our Redeemer who lives. I want to outline some very important announcements here before we go into reading a portion of our history that is at our disposal, so that nobody can fool us again. They say the first fool is not actually a fool, but becomes a fool when you are told the truth and given what you're supposed to know and you refuse to know it. Then you become a fool. Ambazonians, we are at war. We need to know our history. We need to know how we were living before, and we need to know exactly where we are today. And we need to govern ourselves. We are a government, and we came out from a government, and we need to govern that government that we were before. This is not a try and error that we are, like some people are giving a narrative, oh, they are breaking away from the Republic. We are not breaking away from the Republic. We were a government before France, particularly Britain, that I call them devils incarnate, played a rough game on us Well, let me say, God must have allowed Britain to do whatever they did to us so that we can prove that there is God, even in this godless generation. So sometimes the devil does something, but when you are a child of God, it is concluded that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to God's purpose. The sufferings may be there, the torturing may be there, and when there is torture and hardship, like we are presently experiencing, some of the hardship coming from the people who are torturing us, some of the hardship coming from people who claim that they are out to deliver us. They give us taxes with all the danger that is hanging around us. Our businesses are not going the way they're supposed to go. La Republic on one side, and then proxy groups that take up the name of Ambazonia on the other side, torturing and pinching us. You can be tempted to make some of the statements I have just made here. Seeing the people that the devil used, like Britain. The devil used Britain so seriously to inflict this pain on us. And if you don't have the grace of Jesus Christ, you will never be able to forgive Britain in your life. Oh, that one is very sure. It's a sure thing. And so Ambazonians, even though with the pain in our hearts and the torturing and the suffering, remember how Moses cried unto God and God heard, and there was a difference. All right, I am believing that there is going to be a difference. But listen attentively. Today is Thursday, the 21st of September, 2023. This September is a month that is very, very pregnant as far as Ambazonia is concerned. It's a very pregnant month. You know why it's very pregnant? On the 22nd, which marked the day Ambazonians came out en masse in 2017, the interim government will be having a town hall meeting to discuss some very important things that are coming up in the programs that are lined up in this very month of September, which I told you is pregnant. So tomorrow at exactly, what is the time again? Let me verify so that I should be talking real, because the time that the interim government is coming up with the program for the 22nd, what time is it? Who can tell me what time it is? Let me see here. I'm just browsing through my calendar to see what at 8 p.m. Amba time. Yeah, 8 p.m. Amba time. So let's come in, and then immediately after that, on Saturday, it is the 23rd of September, and this 23rd of September being a Saturday is another very pregnant day. The draft for Minchim County, that is my county. And if you think that sitting in the historical position, I've been able to help you understand anything for Ambazonia, I want to invite you as a personal friend to come in and support Minchim County to drive out the Jebusites, the Hittites, and the La Republique that is causing havoc in the whole of Minchim County, with their henchman, Dampolo, whom they tried to buy over our land. We refused. They killed one of our illustrious sons, and they were trying to impose their, fondom and fun on us, especially in Isu. We said, no way, and it's not going to work. La Republic should know that we have vomited them. We were never married, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, but when we were about to sign the marriage certificate, they proved very unfaithful, that they were already married to France, and France is remote controlling them. So they want to try that to us. We said no. And so there is this very twin important day in Ambazonia. We call it the United Nations Southern Cameroons Day, which is the 30th of September. And this 30th of September has two very, a very important mark on that day. The Ambazonians will be gathering in Berlin, in Germany, to celebrate the United Nations Southern Cameroons Day, and above all, it will give birth to the 1st of October 2023, making it exactly 62 years of our independence that was denied us in practice, but in theory, we have it, we were given. Why do I say we were denied it in practice? Because Britain, out of their selfishness, cunning, craftiness, wickedness, lied that we were unable to govern ourselves. Meanwhile, before they came in, we were already governing ourselves. 1953, Britain was not with us. We were governing ourselves. And so it's a shame to Britain, a big shame. And of course, let me tell you something with God. God is a good God. When God uses you to punish the righteous that have gone against him, when your own punishment is coming, it will be double or triple or quadruple or centuple or sextuple or septuple or octuple. You want me to continue? No, I will not continue. But I want to let you know that you will pay. And when you will pay very, very dearly. That is who God is. He will make you to pay, and you pay very dearly, very expensively. And so La Republic is going to pay for being used by whosoever to torture the Ambazonian people. La Republic, you will pay. Whether you like it or not, you will pay. And so we are gearing up the 30th, which we have asked Homefront to get the United Nations flag and then wave it around the cities of the Southern Cameroons, because it is United Nations Southern Cameroons Day. And we've told them to be very careful. Only our defense team that can march La Republique will march on the 1st of October, because they have been killing and killing. This October is not only going to be in the home front, we are going to be marching around the world. I have received reliable information that there will be the celebration of this 1st October, even in places where La Republique is trying to tell lies by giving a narrative that does not, how do I say it, that does not coincide. That is narrative that cannot be authenticated, trying to tag the Ambazonian struggle to be a terrorist movement. They have tried and they have failed. And so the blackmail by La Republique of Cameroon around the globe will not hold water as long as the Ambazonians, who have trusted in the one that is stronger than La Republique, stronger than France, stronger than Britain, and stronger than the UN. Yes, God Almighty is on our side, and we are going to win. So in Berlin, there is a big plan for this twin celebration. In Washington, D.C., I'm told also in some part of Southern America, oh yes, in Southern America, it's going to happen, whether the devil likes it or not. And the devil here is being represented by the embassies of La Republique that are trying to fight. They have failed on arrival. Let me just announce to them, they have failed on arrival. Anyway, the plan is still going on, and La Republique will know that an ideology is not a personal issue that you can catch individuals and think that if you imprison them, if you castigate them, you will go ahead and do what you want to do. No. So let's dive back to our part three of the discussion that I told you, the tale of two nations. The tale of two nations. This tale of two nations consists of Southern Cameroons versus La République du Cameroon, which is actually France in a miniature, because La République du Cameroon is just the gloves that France is using. Yes. Now, Britain as a peacock and like a how do you call it? This camel that wants to hide its face under the sun, is the nyash is all outside. They are too ashamed. So we talked about the last point we mentioned was the question of investigation was talking about our first prime minister of Southern Cameroons, who was elected, and the second person successively in 1959 without any uprising. That was a people that were representing God, and they are still representing God, even in torture and in many ways that La République has tried to make the people of the British Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia to depart from God. They have not succeeded because they are still very resilient. Now, I'm not going to be long today with us, but let me go ahead and then read point number 7, which is international guarantees given to the peoples of Southern Cameroons by the United Nations and other partners. Listen very well. I am reading an article. I'm not formulating it. It is found in the archives and you can get it. And I promise to send you a copy of what I am reading so that as an Ambazonian, you can acquaint yourself with what is going on. And of course, as a non-Ambazonian who is willing to know history and so put your feet on the right position, I can also send you the document if you request it. Now, international guarantees given to the peoples of Southern Cameroons by the United Nations and others after they rejected their insistence that they want to be independent and be independent. La République, the United Nations rejected it because Britain was right inside there to give a negative report about us. And since the world is given to lies, they could not even verify. They accepted the negative report, which today they know that the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, is the breadbasket that La République doesn't want to miss, especially France, because he knows that their end will come when La République gets out of Ambazonia. Now, point A of that international guarantee, UN assurances against being annexed, assimilation, or recolonized. Under UN Resolution 224, Part 3 of 18 November 1948, protected Southern British Cameroons and all trust territories from annexation or assimilation by any colonial-minded neighbors like La République. In 2019, in Mo Abraham's program in France, he actually used these very words. We have tried to assimilate them, which is the same as annex them, which is the same as recolonize them, and they have not agreed. And so they started with guns. That's what it meant. And there are Ambazonians who are sitting quietly. Again, whenever I want to blame them, I look at them and I instead pity them, because these are people that look like human beings, but they are completely brainwashed. And some of them are actually wheelbarrows or rats and cockroaches, as we call them. I really see some of them behave like that, because your behavior will determine who you are. But Ambazonians are not such. Let's go ahead with the reading. Such a union must remain strictly administrative in its nature and scope, and its operation must not have the effect of creating any conditions which will obstruct the separate developments of the trust territory in the field of political, economic, social, and educational advancement as a distinct entity. I want to ask UN, with this article that is right in your archives, why are we in this world looking wicked? Are they not righteous people? Are they not people that are having conscience to see the torture which is falsely torturing the Ambazonians on their rights? And the UN knows about it and it is in their record. Is it not a shame that a body like this has become a club of friendship where others that are not in that club can be mistreated, maltreated, and wickedly treated in this way? Thank God there is God in heaven. Point B, United Nations assurances on independence and self-government of Southern Cameroons. According to Article 76B of the United Nations Charter, the objective, one moment, oh boy. According to, like I was trying to, as I was putting it out there, according to that was point number B, before I was interrupted there. United Nations assurances on independence and self-government of Southern Cameroons. According to Article 76B of the United Nations Charter, the objective of the trusteeship was to promote political, economic, social, and educational advancement of the inhabitants of the trust territories and their progressive development towards self-government or independence. That was the purpose. And we were under the trusteeship of English. That's why we are speaking English. But La République was under the trusteeship of French, of France. That's why they are speaking French. And they were being prepared for independence from these trusteeship nations. Ambazonia was never a colony of Britain, but we were a trusteeship. The United Nations entrusted us to Britain to groom us for our independence. And when we were big, they said they would tie us diapers. And look at where we are today. But thank you, Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians of clear conscience and God-fearing people. The United Nations approval referendum explanatory documents the two alternatives promise. A vote for attending independence by joining the Republic would mean the Southern Cameroons and the Cameroon Republic would ride in a federal united Cameroon Republic. The arrangements would be worked out after the plebiscite by a conference consisting of the representatives, delegations of equal status from the Republic of the and Southern Cameroons, the United Nations, and the United Kingdom would also be associated with this conference. So that article is simply saying that there was going to be a write-up to be placed of our union together with the Republic of Cameroon at the United Nations. But is that write-up there up till now? La Republic of Cameroon says no. Ambazonia says no. United Nations says no. France says no. Britain says no. So why are we tortured? Because of lies. A nation that is built on lies and stealing and killing, like France, like Britain, like Republic of Cameroon, then you know that they were exhibited and cross over. But Ambazonians have proven that they are more than that. They are more than that, and we are more than that. United Nations Declaration on Rights of the Indigenous Peoples, Article 19, states, shall consult and cooperate with indigenous peoples concerned through their own representative organizations on order to obtain their free, prior, and informed consent before adopting and implementing legislative or administrative measures that affect them. These are their articles. Ambazonians, listen. Like I said, I'm not going to go very far today with this document. I will just read another few paragraphs and then I'll leave it over for the next time. Now, paragraph C. La République du Cameroon assurances about equality and federation upon joining. Ahidjo, at the 849th meeting of the Fourth Committee of the United Nations, said, if our brothers of the British zone wish to unite, we will do so on a footing of equality. This is verbatim, not written, but a speech that Ahidjo made and was copied and inserted in this article. The Federal Constitution in Articles 4.75, Article 47.5, subsection 5, to call it in their terms, guaranteed an immutable federal form of government as the form of state for the union of the two states. That means immutable. That means the state was never to be changed. The joint declarations by Ahidjo, President of La République du Cameroon, Jongo Foncha, Prime Minister of Southern Cameroons, and Charles Asale, PM, Republic of Cameroon, on the 13th of October and on the 2nd of December 1960. That was prior to the 1961 of October. After 4 days of 3-round discussions and 2 days of 4-round discussions on the implementation of joining, stated the commitment of La République du Cameroon as follows: that in no case will the United Cameroon be a part either of the French community or the British Commonwealth. That was their decision. They would create a federal state. They will create a federal state. Go into your archives, you will see this, brethren, Ambazonians. They will create a federal state. And the federal acts were to be enacted in such a way that the majority should not impose any state measure which would be contrary to its Southern Cameroon's interest. You hear that? Point number 8 of assurances, referendum of Southern Cameroons. The referendum conducted, supervised, and published by the United Nations was conducted with only one group of people, British Cameroonians. The question on whether they wish to obtain independence by joining Nigeria or joining La République du Cameroon and its consequent results had been explained in the 2 alternatives that I mentioned above there. La République du Cameroon based, promised, and guarantees given by the United Nations and La République du Cameroon on federation, self-government, equality of status, separate developments as a distinct entity. Is there documented with no intervention in the fields of politics, economic, social, and educational advancement? But why are we at this war? The very last 2, educational advancement. Can you imagine? It was a responsibility, intelligent choice, and a matured based on trust in the United Nations' ability to enforce its resolutions and keep its commitment. Ambazonians, make I tell when I say, chief people in there all over the world, even the one where they wear clerical colors, they tell you say they just come up from God. And these white folks in the United Nations, this is their article, very clear. Why is La Republique killing Ambazonians? And after killing more than 50,000, they are still going with a narrative of 6,000. I heard somebody talking of a narrative of 6,000. I just said these people are mad. Keep its commitment made through the United Nations approved plebiscite propaganda documents. The two alternatives produced in response to United Nations Trusteeship Council Resolution 213, Article 26 of 31st of May 1960. See, all these things are documented. Note below, the reunification of the two Cameroons took place on the 1st of October 1961, not on the 20th of May 1972, as falsely taught and celebrated across Cameroon. Reunification of the Cameroons was the sole decision of Southern Cameroonians, not the decision of both Cameroonians involved. Southern British Cameroons was self-governed in liaison with Nigeria when they freely voted in a United Nations organized supervised plebiscite on the 11th of February 1961, of which the results were 64 for Southern Cameroons to be independent directly and then finally to join La République du Cameroon when they were pressed beyond measure. Northern British Cameroons voted to remain a part of Nigeria. We have seen all this, and it is going on. And so, Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, it is on this note today that I will suspend this article. And trust me, most probably on Monday, I shall be back to continue with this article. Very, very important. For the Ambazonians that don't know their history, this is history that you should have. Like I said, those of you who are dancing in between La République and Ambazonia, the documents are all here, documented, that you can see. Even if you are those ones that are fighting to make sure that we remain as a group and never get back our country as a country, I would like you to read this article. It could be your mind will be changed. It could be God Almighty will touch you when you now know who you are. Because a lot of people perish for lack of knowledge to know exactly who they are. And that's why so many Ambazonians, some of them are perishing not actually because of lack of knowledge, but because of bribery and corruption. And La République du Cameroon is expert in bribery and corruption. Britain is the chairman or the chairman of corruption in disguise. You say I shouldn't say that? No, we should say it so that the world should know. This battle is a battle that we will fight until the last man from La République du Cameroon leaves Ambazonia. We're not going to wait on these people we call them international community. Well, I know that God is going to raise somebody in the so-called international community, somebody, just one, who will come out and say enough is enough and let Ambazonia go scot-free. God is working towards bringing that person. We have prayed and we have believed God, and that's why we are taking action the way we are taking action right now to make sure that Ambazonia knows that there is a people whom God has chosen in this generation, and we are not going to let them go. I will stop here so far. Like I told you, there are a lot of things that we have to do, and so I will call the Ambazonians to join with me when we come up in the next episode.
In my life, Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the below. Abba Father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yeah. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele.
Just a quick reminder before I shut down my machines. After tomorrow, the 23rd, is the mainstream draft of which I am part and parcel of it. Tomorrow is the town hall, which the president will be explaining a number of things and is profitable for our 1st of October. 30th is the United Nations Southern Cameroon's Day, and 1st of October is our day that La Republique panics when he hears that day coming. Whether they panic or not, whether they do whatever they do, we are ready to get up and make sure that we get our land back. And so La Republique, we are going out to march all around the globe on the 1st of October. All right. Bye for now.